Hey everyone, Rene Roth, your online natural therapist and homeopath, coming to you live. I've been in practice for 35 years and certainly I feel I have a wealth of knowledge behind me to be able to share about the benefits of antioxidants. Now, as you can see from the title of this, and I think it's a given that most people know what multivitamins are, most people know what minerals are, and a lot of people take vitamins and minerals to support their health and well-being. But antioxidant, well, what does that really mean? Before I get into the body of the content of this live broadcast, I want you to drop a 1 if you're viewing this live and drop a 2 if you're watching the replay. And also let me know where you're coming in from. So antioxidant, well, what does it mean? So anti is against, oxidant, oxidation. So it's actually a product, a combination of ingredients that actually stops and reduces the amount of free radical damage. So it's to combat free radical damage. So how do we get exposure to free radicals? Well, the fact that we're living, breathing and eating, our body as we metabolize creates free radicals. And that's a normal process of metabolism, life and living. What our hope is that our body can manufacture sufficient numbers of antioxidants to counter the free radical damage. So a free radical is basically an unstable electron. And what an antioxidant does, it actually generously donates its electron to then neutralize the free radical. So it stops its degenerative reactions. Now, what sort of degenerative action? Now, in science we know, and talking about health and wellness, in science we know that there are over 60 chronic diseases that have free radical damage that are either caused or activated by free radicals. And this includes heart disease, atherosclerosis, autoimmune diseases such as rheumatoid arthritis, psoriasis, lupus, blood pressure, we've got Parkinson's disease, MS, the list goes on, diabetes, arthritis. The list is very, very extensive insofar as the number of diseases which have this ongoing free radical damage. And a really simple example is in life when we see a bit of metal rusting, that's oxidization. When we cut an apple and it goes brown, that's oxidization. When you cut your avocado, that's oxidization, it's going brown. So look at the difference. If you cut an avocado in half and you squeeze lemon on one half of it and you put it in the fridge and you don't put it on the other half, and even if you put it in the fridge or not, leave it out on the bench. The one that has the lemon on it, because lemon we know is an antioxidant. It's rich in vitamin C and bioflavonoids, and you'll see the rate of deterioration, the rate of oxidization is so much less. So just imagine if we're able to take a supplement which has a combination of antioxidants and what that's going to do for our internal. So yes, aging is an oxidization process. Our skin ages because we're losing collagen and connective tissue, we're getting UV damage, we're getting exposure to chemicals and toxins. And a lot of our exposure to chemical toxins comes from our personal care products. So in our personal care products, it's a host of deleterious ingredients, things like formaldehyde, aluminium, propylene glycol, sodium lauryl sulfate, parabens, BPA, the list goes on and on and on, all the perfumes and the artificial preservatives and so forth. These contribute to aging, they contribute to free radical damage. In our environment, in industry, in our cars, there's smoke. There's a lot of toxins and chemicals in our environment we need to protect ourselves from. If you're around people who smoke, either an active smoker or a passive smoker, there is free radical damage happening there. So we're exposed to many of these things, and even in our foods, the preservatives, the colorings, the additives and so forth, the residue of pesticides and insecticides, this also contributes to the toxic load and free radical damage as well. So this is absolutely a concern. People who are exposed to more stress, people who exercise a lot, so there's a lot more free radical damage happening. So the idea is that our body produces its own antioxidants to protect itself. And an example of two of them is in fact superoxide dismutase and glutathione. But you know what? In order to make our body's own antioxidants, we need the raw ingredients. And the raw ingredients are minerals and vitamins, antioxidants, proteins, enzymes, amino acids and so forth. And that is dependent on the ability to have a wholesome diet, adequate hydration, that we're making sure we're getting enough of all of that. And clearly we're not, because why are there so many sick people? Why is obesity at epidemic rates? Why is diabetes and heart disease and cancers an epidemic out there? Well, it certainly is, because, think of it. If our food provided all that we needed, we should be fundamentally quite healthy. But the case is we're not, because our food is grown on soils which are derided of their natural sourcing of 87 different minerals and trace elements, which we need on a daily basis. Our food is picked before it's ripe, so the amount of antioxidants, in fact, the antioxidants aren't for us in food, they're for the plant, they're for the perpetuation of the species of the plant. If you stand under the mango tree, as it falls and lands in your hand, if you'd be so lucky, that is when the antioxidant quality and quantity is at its peak, because it then wants to provide nutrition to the seed for the next germination. But our fruit's picked often way before it's ripe, so the amount of antioxidants in that fruit is definitely compromised. It's not at its maximum quantity. So it's all these factors. So our food's processed, it's stored, it's shipped, it's transported, so the quality of our food has diminished, so we do need to top up. It is an absolute fallacy that today we can get all that we need from our food. So we do need to top up. So do the best you can with your food. Do the best you can with your lifestyle. Minimise your stress, because certainly stress increases your free radical damage as well. So what I choose to do, I choose to take an antioxidant which has a multitude of ingredients, and a combination of multi-generational antioxidants is really key. So our first generation of antioxidants, these have been around for, they've been around forever, but been discovered maybe over the last 80 years or so. And Dr. Linus Pauling, who really promoted the benefits of vitamin C, we have a lot to thank him for. So we have in a preparation that I take beta-carotene, so a natural occurring form of vitamin A, vitamin C, and vitamin E. So these are three core, and I don't need to lecture you about the benefits of that. We all do know the benefits of vitamins A, C, and E, and they're really ACE, as the sequence of those letters suggests. Now, a second generation of antioxidants includes an extract from grapeseed extract and pine bark. So we have both a water-soluble and a fat-soluble antioxidant in this preparation. And what's really key in this ingredient is the OPCs, that is the oligomeric proanthocyanins, very powerful antioxidants. So the ORAC, that's the oxygen radical absorbent capacity of this preparation as a whole, is significantly higher than many other products and significantly higher than in individual fruits. Like raspberries and berries, we know they have quite a high antioxidant content. But this combination of ingredients has an extremely high oxygen radical absorbent capacity. And we know that the benefits of the OPCs in connective tissue and collagen is significant. And I use this preparation as an integral part of my regime and strategy for our weight loss program. So we've had people drop anywhere from 10 to over 50 kilos who do not have any saggy skin at all. Because when we give them the antioxidant throughout their program, as they're losing weight, they're dropping weight, potentially up to 20 kilos in 40 days in our phase 2 program, that as they're losing that weight, the connective tissue in the skin, it's restoring the elasticity. So the matrix of the connective tissue is restored by virtue of these ingredients, along with the benefit of the other products. So it forms very much a part of my strategy for our weight loss program. It should form part of anyone's strategy with an autoimmune disease, particularly like rheumatoid arthritis, Sjogren's disease, lupus and so forth, psoriasis. It should form part of a strategy of someone who has an inflammatory condition, because the turmeric, and that's our third generation antioxidant, there are lots of studies around turmeric. You Google turmeric and you'll see so many wonderful effects. And we've seen in Africa, where there's a very large Indian and African population, and AIDS unfortunately is quite rampant in many communities, but there as well. And they saw that there was a difference between the Indians who were HIV positive and the Africans who were HIV positive as to whether they developed AIDS. And they nailed it down to the fact that the Indians were having a lot of spices, and one of the main spices is turmeric. So it was a naturally antiviral ingredient, and we know that turmeric is antiviral, it's antibacterial, it's antifungal, it's anti-inflammatory, it's antioxidant. So it's really a wonder herb. So we have the curcuminoid, which is the really active compound, concentrated in this particular preparation. We've also got ginkgo biloba. And ginkgo biloba, we know, supports circulation, particularly cerebral circulation. So it's going to deliver all these wonderful ingredients right around the circulation of the body. It's certainly going to launch them into your your brain area as well, because with the fat-soluble OPCs, it's going to cross the blood-brain barrier. And so therefore it's going to support neuronal tissue. It's going to help in all those neurological conditions, perhaps like Parkinson's and MS and so forth. So we want to slow down the oxidation of the basal ganglia or the substantius nigra, which is obviously meant to be producing enough dopamine in our Parkinson's patients. So if you can slow down that process, that's going to be a good thing. So we've got 7 different antioxidants in this wonderful preparation that I personally take, and yes, I've had mine today as well. So it's the synergy. It's not just 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, 7 ingredients equals 7. It's like it equals 52, because the synergy, that collective benefit of these antioxidants really enhances what it's going to do. And they're able to continually support ongoing neutralization of free radicals as well. So yes, as part of a lifestyle strategy, adequate exercise, adequate rest, adequate hydration is a given. I would certainly encourage you to have as a complementary regime your multivitamin, your minerals and your essential fatty acids, because I think they form the framework of good health and well-being. So that hopefully gives you an idea of the benefits of antioxidants, one that I personally take. I hope you've gained benefit of today's broadcast. I want you to drop a 7, in fact, if you've received benefit from this broadcast. 7, because there are 7 fantastic ingredients in this preparation. I know some of you will share this broadcast, and that's fantastic. I encourage you to connect with the person who shared this broadcast with you. And particularly today, because the company that I associate myself with, or at least one of them, they have a Wednesday win. And today being Wednesday, it is 20% off this particular product. So that is almost a $10 saving. So if you've been contemplating, well, do I, don't I, grab an antioxidant? Well, now I've hopefully given you some insight as to a good quality antioxidant, what they actually do, and how you may benefit from it. So drop me a 7 if you found today's broadcast of benefit, and I hope to catch you at the next live broadcast. Cheers now.